Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about a squall that suddenly broke out in the courtroom at the end of Todd Blanche's closing summation. So he's going on, and I've given you my, general assessment and summary of that. And he all of a sudden says, "That's not enough. Michael Cohen, you can't believe him. It's not enough to send Donald Trump to prison." Objection sustained. That's what the jury heard. And then he was just about done. He finished up. The jury left. The DA was apoplectic, and understandably so. It is just every rookie knows you may not mention anything about sentencing to a jury. That's the judge's purview, and they're not supposed to think about that at all. It was for trial lawyers in the courtroom like quite an arresting moment, but Merchan was livid. And, he really, I'm very impressed with him and how he handles himself well. And he's generally at about 2 or 3. So he doesn't have to go to 10, but he easily went to 8. It was like, this is outrageous, Mr. Blanche. As long as you've been a prosecutor, it's impossible to believe that you didn't know what you were doing. It's impossible to believe. So, he basically said flat out, you motherfucker, you did that knowingly, right? So he did not say motherfucker, but you guys know what I mean. And it was stunning. Now, the DA asked for a curative instruction, though it's the kind of thing that it's pretty hard to unring the bell, right? And that's arguably why. So let's just start here at the sort of, where we could go to the back end of this. Why'd he do it? It does seem very hard to believe that he didn't know it was improper. Now, I mentioned that his closing in general seemed more off the cuff, unpracticed, unrehearsed. So maybe it's a slip, but at least Merchan didn't believe it. So if it's not a slip, what's going on? It seems to me if this isn't a slip, it's like an attempt to get a mistrial or to get a hung jury. So, and of course with Trump, it's extra complicated because a juror might think, if I convict, we're going to send him to prison and then people are going to come after me, right? Because that's part of the whole dynamic with Trump, or the sort of other supposition. If I convict this, maybe jerk, but former president of the United States, I'm sending to prison. That just seems like overkill, et cetera. And that's, so that's so flagrantly improper. As I say, he invited the DA to write the curative instruction. And during the 10-minute break that ensued until Steinglass started, or maybe it was a break in the middle. No, I think it was the end of his. The DA wrote it and overwrote it, but Blanche was stuck. There was no way of protesting. So in particular, what you instruct juries is, don't you worry about punishment. Punishment is for me, not for you. And that's enough. Just don't you worry about punishment. But he took an extra step here, did Merchan, and Blanche invited it, and he's, after telling that to the jury, he told them in addition, this charge doesn't necessarily have prison time. Not something you would normally tell the jury, but he wanted to try to somehow unring the bell or make them, get them. If anybody would be improperly thinking, we don't want to send him to jail, do we? Giving ammo for them to say, no, you're not going to be sending him to jail. So that's, a strong over the normal curative instruction. But, what was Blanche going to do? And Blanche, by the way, he had, I think, a lackluster closing argument, as I said. And, he's now, a lot of people thought he was not the best person that maybe Susan Nicholas would have been to deliver the closing. But anyway, he did. But, Trump is, I always think of like a James Bond villain, or, this is the price of failure, Mr. Bond. And you push the button and the piranha are down there or whatever. It was just, I think, had to be triple humiliating, just, complete mortification, one of worst moments in career, to, in a case of this dimension, to be called out for purposeful misconduct and absolutely ripped a new one in front of Donald Trump. We'll see if there were ramifications. I think Donald Trump had to have known this was a very bad day for him. And he tends to blame the lawyers. And now at the end of Blanche's closing, he does something that, he might have thought Trump might have told him to, or Trump might have thought, he might have thought, oh, Trump will be happy with me. But, so flagrantly improper, and just really, really paid the price. So bad moment for him, and to cap off a pretty bad defense summation. There you have it. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.